Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Dad is in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauve and I am the founder of Dad is in Control. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I remember because it was only a few days before Christmas, back 4 or 5 years ago. The events of that week were anything but normal. But today, it was Saturday. After work, I stopped at Williams Food Equipment looking for the perfect Christmas present for my wife, who at the time was pretty into cooking and pretty into food preparation. So I was going to buy something on a professional level for her. But that all changed with one phone call. When I was in the middle of the store, I got the phone call from my wife that said, "Honey, you have to come home and bring me to the hospital. Now." So I did. On my way home, I called my parents and I asked them to come and get my boys. We got to the hospital and signed in, and after what seemed to be forever, we got in to see the doctors. And after hours and hours and hours of testing, the doctor finally came back to us. She looked us dead in the eyes and said some huge words that I didn't understand. Words that I had to Google because I really didn't understand. But the underlying tone, the underlying message was, "Your wife has cancer." Now, the next few minutes are kind of a blur. As we left the hospital, we started going and walking out through the sliding doors to the car. And I remember my wife stopping in this rainy, hazy, almost midnight, looking up at the sky and feeling the raindrops. Why am I telling you this? Well, because to say that Christmas that year was a little bit unnormal is an understatement. We went through Christmas, and shortly after New Year's, my wife was admitted into the hospital. And that started a very, very long sequence of treatment. Throughout this time, I have 3 kids, and my wife is in the hospital for what seemed to be an eternity. I was a shell of a man. I was lost. My partner, my wife, was in a battle for her life, and I was on the sidelines. I was trapped in a cage and watching the gladiator against the lion. What do I do? How do I treat this? How can I help her? Oh my gosh, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, worry. The next day I went to work and I talked to my boss, and I told my boss and good friend the news. I told them that I wasn't sure what was going to happen, that I was scared, that I was worried, and I was lost. Fortunately, my parents are retired, so they were able to help out with the kids. But I had to work, and I had to help my wife, but I didn't know how. After a few weeks of living miserably, uncomfortably, worried, I was broken down. After a long work day, I went to the hospital, and my wife looked at me from her bed, frail, with a big styrofoam Dixie cup next to her for vomit, and she says, "Wow, you look like hell. What are you doing to take care of yourself right now?" I stumbled and I couldn't answer. I was so lost. And I was getting advice from my wife, who was sick and battling for her life. And I was the one that looked like hell. It was right then and there that my wife looked at me and says, "I need you to take care of yourself. I need you to step up. I need you to go to the gym, to eat healthy, and to be yourself and to take care of you. Because I can't do this without you. But you're no help to me when you're a broken down shell of a man. So you need to take care of you." And I started to cry. I was so lost. I had lost everything inside of me. All I knew was I felt helpless, and I couldn't do anything to get out of this cage, to help the gladiator in the cage with the lion. And here the gladiator is shouting advice from the arena to me in my cage to help me out. I felt horrible. After this pity party session of maybe a minute or two longer, she looked at me and says, "Now get out and go to the gym and get a good meal in you." She says, "Because this is what I need from you." What I didn't realize at the time was when you don't take care of yourself, when you don't take care of your needs, when you don't look after your core desires and your core body and physical and spirituality, the world can see it. They can see it in your actions. They can see it in your eyes. They can see it and they can feel it in your energy. So that day I made a commitment to myself to step up, to take care of myself, to go to the gym, to plan my meals out, and to strategize how I can make my energy levels high and mighty so that I can help my wife succeed through this war that she was battling through. And so that I can help my kids realize that we can battle through this together. But first you need to take care of yourself. So this cancer, this horrible disease, this thing that was eating my wife away, was a blessing in disguise because I learned the importance of self-care. I learned that I needed to take care of myself. And I would have never done that if my wife wouldn't have pointed it out. She wouldn't have smacked me across the face with those powerful words. You look like shit. My wife was battling for her life, going through the battle of the century with a rare, fast-moving form of cancer called Burkitt's lymphoma. And I, as the husband, couldn't do anything, so I thought. I thought I was helpless in the matter. I thought I couldn't bring anything to the table. But what I could do, what she told me that day indirectly was, you take care of yourself and take care of the boys and manage the energy that I'm feeling around me so that I can battle this thing with all of my might and I don't have to worry about you or my children. So that's what I did. At this time, kids weren't allowed into the hospital, so it was very difficult. It's hard because my wife was without her kids. I could go and see her every day, but the boys couldn't. So I decided in that moment, I would do absolutely everything I could to support her. Whether that was going to pick up meals for her at her favorite vegetarian vegan restaurant, or whether it was just rubbing her feet, or whatever she needed. I learned what true support was. And I learned that this battle wasn't just going to be won by a single gladiator in the arena. You see, I needed to get out of my cage. I needed to get out of the pity party and to join the fight in the arena. Because my energy, my taking care of myself, my being was going to help her in her battle. Just being there and being the best version of me for her and being supportive and doing what needed to be done for her helped win the battle. Fast forward a few years, the cancer is gone, my wife is fine and more powerful than ever. But these events, these lessons that I learned have been etched into me. They're part of me. They're ingrained in me so deep that I'm certain they'll never leave me. In our household, taking care of yourself, managing and prioritizing your energy levels is at the top of our priority list. And it should be in all of your households. You see, the world around you catches on to your energy, what you put off. If you're negative, or if you're miserable, or if you're feeling horrible, maybe you doubt yourself, maybe you're not certain, or any other number of things. The world around you picks up on this, and that affects them. That affects your children, that affects your wife, that affects your relationships. It affects the way that the universe rewards you. And I know I sound like one of them woo-woo quacks, but it's the truth. Now, I'm not a very biblical man, but a wise man once told me that Jesus said, "By their fruits you shall know them." Well, that's the same thing that I'm saying about energy. You can pick up on people's energy, and the only thing that you can do within yourself is control your energy. Control what you do to take care of yourself. Control and manage your energy by fueling yourself, by dealing with your stress, by dealing with your anxieties, by taking control of you and your energy and what you're putting out there into the universe. So that's my message for today. Thank you for listening. And don't forget, head on over to iTunes. Please subscribe and rate and review the podcast. If this is a conversation that you want to continue, if you want to learn more, if you want to join us in our society of men, head on over to dadisincontrol.com. Join our private Facebook group. And if you're a man and you want to level up, you feel a burning desire inside you to become a better version of yourself, head on over to dadisincontrol.com/start. Fill out the application for the Kick Off the Couch session. Kick Off the Couch is our customized intensive. We also offer personalized coaching. So if you want to level up, if you want to become a better version of you, head on over to datasincontrol.com, fill out the application, get the ball rolling on becoming a better version of you. Until next time, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you on the inside of the group.